Interwebs hello, Devcon here for the, third unboxing in the Torg Eternity series. I just came back from work and had this big ass box waiting for me on the porch of my apartment. I sort of wish that Federal Express had instead left a card, go get this at the nearest warehouse. So none of my neighbors could grab it, but I was lucky enough; it was still there when I came back from work. So let's go ahead and take a look inside. As I said, this is the third in the Torg Eternity box set series that started obviously with the Torg Eternity Cargo Box, which is over there, and was followed up by the Torg Eternity Survival Box, which was for the Living Land Cosm. The third Kickstarter for Torg Eternity was for the Nile Empire, and as expected, it came in a big ass box. The sarcophagus box is what this one is called. Is very likely to be as big as the other ones. So I'm expecting a lot of packing peanuts in there, because so far Ulysses Spiel has done a good job of protecting the stuff that they're shipping. Kind of amused a bit by the fact that there's crowdfunding, the sticker right there on the box. It says crowdfunding. But anyways, so let's go ahead and open this thing. I'm not that I'm in a hurry, but I do want to get dig inside. So I didn't go and get my hobby knife. I'm just grabbing an old steak knife from the drawer, and let's get right to it. So let's go. Opening number one, opening number two. Just hope that it's not a mummy that comes out of this, because that would be very fitting for the Nile Empire. Lots of packing tape, as always. As expected, the first thing that assaults me is a veritable onslaught of packing peanuts. So just set the box aside for a moment. Okay, the first thing that is inside the box is not the cargo box. It's the sarcophagus box itself, but rather the GM pack. So we see, of course, characters that are fitting for the pulp style of the Nile Empire. So we have the updated map representing Pharaoh Mobius's updated campaign of conquest over Africa. We're gonna have the bookmark presenting Pharaoh Mobius inside. The threat standees that are they're a useful tool to have in game, and the threat blips that I will admit that I don't really use as much as I should, but they do come in useful every once in a while. So just gonna look at those. We had the threat standees as well. Has the bookmark featuring Dr. Mobius. And on the other side, we have the bonus chart, which is always, there we go, had trouble focusing. Bonus chart, which is a lot more useful than a lot of people who play Torg realize. And then we have the threat standees with stats for the players on one side and stats for GM on the other. Again, useful tools to have in game. The threat blips, which they can be useful as miniatures if you don't really use those. But I don't like to use the battle map in my Torg games, so I don't really use them for this purpose. And we have the updated map again. Same material, same quality poster map that we are now used to seeing from Ulysses Spiel. So again, good work on this, guys. That's the first thing inside the box. This next thing I have it is Ruins of the Living Land. Yeah, that was a stretch goal, if I recall. That they added. It's which is basically it was a stretch goal that was available as PDF for people who backed the the Living Land Kickstarter. And as a stretch goal, they decided, if I recall, we're going to add a printed version of Ruins of the Living Land to those who have also backed the the Living Land Kickstarter. So since I already did this, well, there is my printed copy of Ruins of the Living Land, which goes over New York, Washington, Atlanta, if I recall. Yeah, exactly. Ruins of Atlanta, Ruins of New York, and Ruins of Washington. So, setting this aside. Up next, yeah, it's the actual box next. So this is kind of heavy. I'm going to be putting packing peanuts all over my floor. Give me a feeling I should do a jump cut when I actually have this in hand. All right. Actually, I had to get it in two. I got the lid first and then the rest of the box. So we have the sarcophagus, which is, you know, sarcophagus-like. So I'm sort of disappointed that it's not sarcophagus-shaped, but you know, let's not ask for too much. Goes very well with its two brothers. So again, top notch. We have, you know, hieroglyphs on every side, as expected. The back side is hello there, Anubis. But yeah, very happy again with how this turns out. Obviously, as always, with the red and blue lightning, that is synonymous to Torg. So let's open this up. It's not supposed to come with packing peanuts inside, but when I got it out, the lid came first, so packing peanuts sort of fell in. It does have these little baggy things that I'm going to get rid of eventually. First up on the top, the Nile Empire possibility tokens. So just like the possibilities that came in the original box, the Living Land possibility tokens that came in the survival box. Well, we have possibility tokens that are for the Nile Empire. This one, however, contrary to the Living Land one, comes in its own box. So thank you very much for bringing this back, Ulysses. So kind of hard. Black border. I was kind of expecting the border to be blue instead of black, like the original boxed set, and one of them just flew away. So that's going to make them a bit hard to stand apart from the normal. Well, they do have a Nile Empire backing, as opposed to a generic Torg one. On every back, we see the Nile Empire logo, obviously. And if you can't tell a logo, well, it's written right under the Torg logo. Okay, so we have, you know, scientists, Amazon warriors, you know, jackal. Well, not jackal guards, but these are basically Gospod warriors for Mobius. You know, demons, which is sort of fitting again. Your generic character / NPC, same thing again. Of course, we're going to have a lot of you know, player character like drawings, like Ace Pilot. Of course, it's not Empire, so you're going to have your masked Avengers. So again, this is great for this. You're also going to have your mob bosses. I wonder if the infamous Wuhan is among the possibility tokens. The Gadgeteer hero, another hero type character. Obviously, you're going to have your priests. I'm getting a Raiden from Mortal Kombat vibe from this guy. Another masked hero over there. Another this is one of Mobius's guards. You know, hard-boiled detective, a rocket ranger, which is always synonymous with Nile Empire. Getting and this no, this is another Masked Avenger and and another one again. So we have a lot of Mystery Man there. So very good possibility tokens. It's the same high quality poker chips that they've always been using for possibility tokens. So again, very good for this. We're having the Cracking Tales of the Nile Empire, which is a book of fiction. 5 classic authors, 5 cracking tales. So yeah, the collection of it includes classic stories from writers Matt Forbeck. I love this this author, Matt Forbeck. He wrote one of my favorite, I'm going to say obscure RPG settings called Brave New World. I love this setting. Shane Lacey Helmsley of Deadlands fame, Bill Slavisak, John Terra, and Stuart Week. All of them worked on the original Torg. Updated to fit the events of unfolding in Torg Eternity. So they took classic stories but rewrote them to fit the new setting of Eternity. So good stuff there. The Fires of Ra soundtrack. So there's an adventure coming in there that's called the Fires of Ra soundtrack. It goes with it. The Nile Empire booster deck. So we get new drama cards, we get new Destiny cards, and new Cosm cards that are fitting with the Nile Empire. I already had them in PDF form and printed them out. Now I'm going to have the actual deck to add to my drama deck. And now we're getting to the books themselves. The Delphi missions for the Nile Empire, short adventures, one-shots. You can maybe stretch them for 2 evenings. They're all set inside the Nile Empire. Then we have the actual campaign for the Nile Empire, the aforementioned Fires of Ra over there. And the book itself. Oh, no, that's the GM screen. I'm going to open that in a few moments. That's the book itself is in the bottom there. There we go. The book itself for the Nile Empire. Again, it's basically the same quality that we get from Ulysses Spiel as always, with the bookmarks right inside the book itself. I've already read this in PDF form, obviously, but new perks, pulp powers, miracles, spells, gears, new threats, foes, plenty of villains to encounter, and you need villains if you're going to be playing in the Nile Empire because it's a realm of pulpy action. Details of different regions of the Nile Empire, plot hooks, events from the first year of Possibility Wars, but focused towards the Nile Empire itself. And aside from that, yes, I still have some random packing peanuts, but that is the contents of the box. Very satisfied again with the quality that Ulysses always puts forward. I'm opening up the GM screen right now. So taking the cover away, we have the screen itself with inside the screen the usual pre-generated characters. So we have the Amatist Hemnetier. I hope that I pronounced that correctly. Amazon Warrior. Hey, I called it exactly as it is. The Bantu Seer. We have the Nile Engineer. I skipped over the former gangster. I thought it was a Private Eye. The Nile Mathematician, because mathematics is power in the Nile. Vengeful Hero. The Plucky Kid. Oh yeah, I see it now. The Kung Fu Master. Raiden is a Kung Fu Master. I'm sort of disappointed that this guy doesn't have lightning powers looking at his perks. Rocket Ranger. Daredevil Pilot. We have the Torch Singer, the Mysterious Bruiser, the Champion of the Land over there, the Young Vigilante, and the Pulp Sorcerer. So fun as always. And we're going to have the screen itself. Man, these boxes contain a lot of stuff. Screen itself, trifold as usual, depicting this huge battle scene between heroes, Mobius, some guards from Mobius, and we see some mummies in the background. The axioms of the Nile Empire, as well as the Cosm laws. And on the back for the GM, as always, we have the handy charts, but of course they are more centered towards adventure in the Nile Empire. So we're gonna get like the Mott matrix traps. So if you go in tombs in Nile Empire, we also have obstacles for your dangerous chases. And speed bonus in chases, ramming damage, your usual stuff in the Nile Empire. And that is about it for the contents of the Nile Sarcophagus Box. Very satisfied that this is finally in my hands. Thank you very much for this. The current Kickstarter for Torg, which is for Isle, which is more sword and sorcery setting in Torg, is going on right at this very moment. There's about a week left. They are still unblocking stretch goals. I am wisdom. If I had any wisdom, I would not be backing it because my financial means are a bit limited right now. But of course, I am once again all in, and I should expect the Kickstarter to be completed. If I recall, there's about 6 or 7 days left in the Kickstarter or so, maybe 5, 6, or 7. And again, they are currently unlocking more stretch goals as we speak. And well, I should have that box eventually when it is produced and sent over. And again, yep, very satisfied. I am running out of space to put all these. But then again, that's just my fault. So that is going to be it for this unboxing of the Torg Eternity Sarcophagus Box for the Nile Empire. This is Devcon, signing out.